I somehow find the process of consciousness shifting really interesting. From seeing nature as active as us, to seeing the difference that we perish while nature doesn't, to seeing the semi-tangible and intangible as divinity, to perceiving distinct natural phenomena as completely objective, with no divine quality at all. Till now, we've kind of agreed in philosophy and science that everything shares an essence. And still, personally, I find the unstoppable seeking of the true self, the most connected essence that links everything together regardless of boundaries, deeply compelling. I wonder if it is a kind of meta-evolution of consciousness and how it has actually evolved over time. Humanity's way of seeing the world keeps shifting, from participation to detachment, from enchantment to mechanism, from fragmentation to a return toward unity. It's as if the psyche itself performs a pendulum swing through history. In early animistic consciousness, nature was alive, experientially alive. A tree wasn't a thing with life, it was just a being among beings. That was a worldview where subject and object hadn't yet split apart. Then came philosophical refinement, the discovery of difference, causality, mechanism. The mind stepped out of nature to see it, and in doing so, lost its sense of belonging. The divine retreated from stones and rivers into abstraction, then into absence. And yet, after centuries of scientific detachment, something fascinating is happening. We're circling back through systems theory, ecology, quantum entanglement, biosemiotics, even phenomenology, toward a realization that the universe is relational, active, and co-creative. Matter thinks in its own way. The old divinity is reappearing as a kind of structural coherence that runs through all forms. The true self might be the inward echo of that realization, the intuition of linking to the collective consciousness. Is it the same drive the cosmos has to become aware of itself, a recursion in which awareness examines its own conditions? What if this search for the true self is not about finding an ultimate essence, but about stabilizing a dynamic, learning to hold the oscillation between difference and unity without collapsing it? This shift, from participation to separation to reflective participation, might form the cosmological pattern at the core of my interest in the relational web, the universe learning to feel itself again through the instruments it has built, including me. I am fascinated by how consciousness shifts, how the way I see the world seems to evolve as if my perception itself were a living thing, the sense that everything, no matter how separate it looks, shares an essence. A thread of being that connects every form, every difference, into one continuous act of existence. And in the middle of that awareness, a hunger, the seeking of the true self, the intimate center that somehow links everything together, the self that is both deeply personal and entirely universal. That's why I found Max Muller's work so unexpectedly resonant. His study of language felt less like academic linguistics and more like a map of consciousness trying to remember itself. He treated words as living fossils of thought, relics of the first attempts human beings made to express the infinite they felt within. For him, every word began in wonder. The act of naming was both a separation from unity and a longing to return to it. When he wrote about the true self, he was pointing to the same pivot I feel inside, the I before it becomes anything specific, the witness that underlies every pronoun, every sentence. It's strange and a little tragic that Muller became such a controversial figure in the study of Hinduism. Some call him a manipulator, a colonizer of meaning. Perhaps he was also a bridge builder out of time, trying clumsily but earnestly to reconnect the ancient intuition of the East with the analytic curiosity of the West. Well, I don't know his other works beyond his study of linguistic religion yet. I just find his attempts to show that language could trace how cognition and consciousness evolved, how we made sense of everything, deeply fascinating. Through words, we might rediscover what words themselves obscure.